What's going on, guys? Doing some catch up here. Just want to quickly touch on the signings Montreal made shortly after the season ended and during these playoffs here. Bergevin has been busy locking up some depth pieces. These are all players that played for us last year, but technically they are unrestricted free agents and could have waited until July 1st to sign, but they chose to stay with Montreal. That's a very good sign and exciting for Habs fans. And what I'm really interested about here and intrigued by is that it seems like Bergevin has kind of completed all his depth moves before we've even gotten to July 1st. So typically, when this time of year rolls around and July 1st rolls around, Bergevin only kind of goes for depth pieces, but he's already got that all done with these three signings that I'm about to talk about. So maybe with this all done, we've got 23 guys on the roster right now. Bergevin's focus will be on the big fish and filling that hole on our left side D and on that right wing slot. So that'll be an interesting thing to keep an eye on moving forward. Now, first signing we're going to talk about is Christian Folin signs for 1 year at $800,000. Great contract. I really liked what he brought to the Montreal Canadiens to end the season. He played 19 games, had 4 assists, but he's a big body at 6'3", 204, and he uses it. He had 125 hits last season in just 45 games, so about half the season. 125 hits as well as 78 blocks. Great quality number 6'7" defenseman, and that's kind of how I see him for the Habs. He's a right-handed guy, so he'll be fighting for minutes, likely with a guy like Noah Juleson. Big physical shutdown defender from Sweden, so you know he's got the good defending qualities. What surprised me the most about him, though, last season when he joined the Habs was his ability to find the net and exploit shooting lanes from the point. Anytime he noticed a shooting lane, he used it and he shot the puck on net and typically got it through traffic towards the net. That is a great sign. So love this signing from Montreal. Great depth signing for their defense. And just a quick note, great asset management from Marc Bergevin here. He traded away Schlemko and Byron Fries to get Christian Folin along with Dale Weiss. It's clear now that Christian Folin was the main piece in that deal and not Dale Weiss. Dale Weiss was almost more of a cap dump that the Montreal Canadiens took on to acquire a guy like Christian Folin. And now they've extended him for a year, so that's great asset management. Next up, we have Jordan Weal resigns. Another guy who would have been a UFA if he waited. He resigns for 2 years at $1.4 million per year. Great contract. I love that this is 2 years. He brought a lot to the Montreal Canadiens in specific areas once he joined our team. He played 16 games, 4 goals, 6 assists for 10 points. That's not bad, eh? 10 points in 16 games played for Jordan Weal as a Hab. Not only that, he was 55% in the face-off dot, and he made a significant difference to our power play. He became surprisingly became a quarterback for our power play, and he did a great job with it. He's got poise with the puck along the point, knows when to carry it, knows when to pass it, utilizes that half wall, and is willing to carry the puck down low to open up those passing and shooting lanes. He looked real good on the Montreal Canadiens power play, and I am not surprised at all that Marc Bergevin got him locked up as quickly as he did. He's a guy that plays with speed, and that's exactly what the Montreal Canadiens want to do. He is a great bottom 6 defender and great depth for us, especially down the middle with his ability to take face-offs. Once again, great asset management by Marc Bergevin. He turned Michael Chaput, an AHL player who was on an expiring contract, into Jordan Weal and ended up locking him up for 2 years. That's just textbook great asset management. Next up, and this is another big one, Nate Thompson re-signed as a Hab too. That's absolutely huge. He loved his time in Montreal. So he's re-signed at 1 year at $1 million AAV. He's 35 years old, a veteran center. It's always great to have one of those guys, especially if you sneak into the playoffs. Played 25 games for the Habs last season, 1 goal, 6 assists for 7 points. He's really not offensively inclined, but he is a defensive specialist. as a forward. Great on the penalty kill, and he is solid in the face-off dot as well. 55% he was for the Habs once he joined us. 55%. So him and Weal became two of our best guys in the face-off dot once they became Montreal Canadiens. Very impressive. He was very vocal in saying why he wanted to come back to the Montreal Canadiens as well. Nate Thompson mentioned something along the lines of he can see this team doing something special over the next few years, and he wanted to be a part of that. So that's a great sign. It really does seem like the perception towards the Montreal market and the team as a whole moving forward is changing. I think Montreal did a great job this most recent season of proving to the league that they are on the upswing, and we're seeing it with these resignings. Guys are very willing to come back and play for the Montreal Canadiens. And once again, guys, great asset management by Marc Bergevin. We got Nate Thompson and a 5th round pick in exchange for a 4th round pick. And the difference in the draft positioning for those picks was only about 10 to 15 picks. So to drop back in the draft in those late rounds, just about, 15 picks, you get Nate Thompson. Alone, even if he was a rental, that's a great price. But the fact we've now locked him up for an additional season, just stellar asset management by Marc Bergevin. These are depth moves, but they're subtly just very impressive asset management by Marc Bergevin, maximizing the value of your assets at all times. I absolutely love all these 3 signings. I think all 3 of these players will be great for us next season, and hopefully can be a big part of the squad, despite being depth players, and hopefully help us get into the playoffs and make a run for it. Let me know what you guys think of these signings. Nate Thompson, Jordan Weal, and Christian Folin. Love to hear what you guys think, and of course, hit that subscribe button if you like my content, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ScotianCanadien. Cheers, guys. Go Habs, go, baby!